Yeah, well, I take it as a compliment. It's like they can see potential in this guy. He deserves more
Oh, yeah.
followers. Okay,
That's
I'm gonna
true.
get a little answer intro and actually see if it comes through.
I should look at it that way.
You were a child, so hungry for the world before you, new like you. And over time, your skin creases and your scars cut. And there's nothing you can do. Still it burns. I'll enter my grave singing, "This is fine with me."
Cowbell ready. Perfect. Welcome, man. Valiant, how you doing, brother?
Oh, good man. Going great. Great to be here with you.
Mate, I'm excited. I'm always excited to hang out with you. We were going to be doing something else today, but this is just as much fun.
Absolutely. How are you going? You going well?
Man, I'm living the dream. I'm on cloud 9 at the moment.
Mm.
I did actually speak before we were having a bit of a discussion about those beautiful follower bots that come and offer you the best price on followers and views.
So kind.
So kind. So just the nicest people. But I did actually want to, I'm going to see if I can bring this up. I'm going to bring up a something that just isn't right. And we need to fix the situation. I'm hoping you might be able to almost help me fix it. But anyone else that
And assuming
sees
she doesn't
this
do anything stupid,
will be able to finish the job.
Yeah, we're gonna block the door.
There is a Twitch stream. Let me just bring this up. Called the Social Pillar.
Oh,
So let me go screen
the
capture.
social pillar.
Wrong bloody screen, so I'll have to move this over there. So see, I've just put it up on the stream, I'm hoping. Yeah, so Social Pillar. What it is a whole heap of really smart people talking about D&D and like all the psychology behind it, and I have conversations about the last one was about team building, like using it for work and team building and relationships and stuff. And they've only got 101 followers. And if you have a look, they've got 45 episodes of this stuff.
And they go for like an hour each. Are they a podcast too?
Each, but if you have a look at this, like
I reckon they're podcast too. Yep, there you go. They're under Talk Show on Podcast, so they're probably on all podcasting platforms.
Yeah. Oh well, I couldn't find them on Spotify, but this is the one from the other day. 0 views 5 days ago. Episode 45. Absolutely ridiculous because I do frig all, and I put very little effort into any of my streams. And I'm sitting here at 102 followers.
A million.
102 followers. So I'm gonna need.
How old are they? Oh, they're 45 episodes in.
So I'm gonna need.
How old are they? Oh, they're 45 episodes in.
So I'm gonna need.
How old are they? Oh, they're 45.
Oh, what's it? Oh, I got a nice echo going on there.
How old are they? Oh, they're 45.
But yeah, so I go build team. Oh, it's because I'm listening to my stupid build stream. How do I close that off? Oh, it's because I'm listening to my stupid stream.
Just mute the stream.
Ah, close it.
That's all right. That's a nice picture of two people holding hands. Looks like they got some bad news.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah.
Don't smoke.
Oh, dude, I actually came up with the cure of the absolute way to quit smoking. Back when I was in the military, I was smoking like a chimney, like over in Malaysia with those 20 milligram tar cigarettes, doing like 3 packs a day.
That would have been cheap there.
They were dirt cheap, man. I got them for local prices. I got it down to like 2 ringgit for a pack. It was
Hello,
nothing.
everyone. Welcome
Oh, wow.
back
What's
to
a ringgit? That's
the
like-
Social Pillar. We're
that's
back
not even a dollar.
30 cents.
for another episode.
Holy
We're
shit.
back at
60
the start
cents
of
a
the
pack.
season.
It was
Season 2 of
unreal.
2024.
But then I
Welcome,
got
everyone.
back
How are we?
and I got a really bad chest infection.
Yep.
Hey, I was
And started
dancing to
coughing
music
up
in my
blood.
head and forgot that I need to
That'll
speak
do
at
it.
the same time.
And I thought I had chest cancer. And then the next
Oh,
time
good.
I tried
Welcome
to smoke,
everyone.
I
Welcome
put
out
the cigarette
there.
to my mouth
Good to
and
see
I
you both.
and I
And
couldn't,
it's been
like,
since
my
our autumn
brain was
break.
stopping the
now that we're
cigarette from
back.
getting to my mouth, even though I really
And welcome
wanted to smoke.
everybody out there in our chat
Yeah,
today. And
you were
those
having a,
watching this in the future.
Like a shaking
Welcome
hand
to the
moment.
Social Pillar,
Yeah,
an
yeah,
ongoing
like
conversation
literally
about the
fighting
value
my
of role-playing
brain, trying
games
to
and
make
their
stuff
crafts,
happen, and my
cultures,
brain's
and
going,
communities in
nah,
our world.
nah. Remember, you're
Delighted
you're
to have you here
engaged.
with us.
You're engaged to married to a beautiful
Today,
woman that you don't
before we
deserve.
begin,
You
as
need to
always,
live.
we like to acknowledge that we're each coming to
Oh,
you from
man.
Aboriginal land. I'm coming to you from
But
Sucks
yeah,
to
so
say, but
Sydney,
I do enjoy.
and we would
Oh,
like to
I
acknowledge
miss
the
it, eh?
traditional custody.
Yeah, which is not, you shouldn't say, but you know.
I
I
do.
do.
I can say that because I will not even be interested in it. Like, the only time I've ever smoked since that second was the night before my wedding. I had one cigar.
Oh, cigars are different.
Yeah, and like it, I didn't.
You don't
even-
get cancer from cigars, man.
No, no. ask
Cigars
your
are
employee.
celebratory.
Definitely no cancer from that. But yeah, so it's one of those beautiful things. So I actually did take your advice recently.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
What advice was that? I hope it
yeah,
was
so
in one of my finer moments.
well, you know how you always say be valiant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the other day I like walking home and I walked in my house and I looked at my wife and I realized that like I look at her and I'm like, I don't even know this person. I don't
Really?
know her. And then I look at kid and I'm like, I feel like I don't know them either. And then they turn to me and they're like, you're in the wrong house. And I was like, oh fuck, I'm in David's
Oh,
house.
fucking hell. Bro, I thought you were about to drop some shit on me.
No. I'm not dumb enough to do that. I'm definitely punching well above my weight, so I'm not gonna mess up a good thing, man. I'm the perfect person as best as I can be. Look, I'm even
That's
drinking
good.
water.
Is it water or is it non-alcoholic beer?
It's soda water, but I do have.
Spicy water. Oh, that's from a soda stream too.
It is. It's delicious.
Look at you.
But I
You know
do
how I
have
know
my
you've got
Arclight,
kids?
Whiskey glass from Meeple and Dragons. And
What
I
is
do have a
Meeple and
Scotch.
Dragons? They run that Jaspers, don't they?
Yeah, that was unreal, man. I actually want to talk to you about that. That's actually one of the things I was worried about with this Lancer thing I'm going to talk about in a sec, is because it's a podcast, like because it's so fast paced and you build a character quickly, I was worried that some of the benefits for D&D where you get to bond with people wouldn't come across. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
with your guys in Valiant Odyssey, they've been playing together for years now, and they sort of can bounce off each other. They knew each other outside the game as well, I believe, most of them.
Some of them did, and some of them didn't.
And yeah, but they all sort of, you make that chemistry up. Whereas what I'm going to be doing is trying to meet as many people as possible and have them interact with each other through the story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you got the right sort of session 0 where you tell them this is the expectation or this is the kind of game it is, and a lot of the people that you know through the TTRPG space are role players normally.
Yeah.
I mean, because there is a very big difference, and we can talk more about it later, but there's a very big difference between people that play Dungeons and Dragons and stream it in any form, podcast or online, and people just play around the table. Because I know I've been at a table that hasn't been filmed or streamed or anything like that, and it's a completely different vibe. And it's not like you're putting it on for a show or anything like that, but it's almost like the people that kind of are attracted to streaming.
Yeah, they're
The
trying to
D&D
share
stuff,
an experience, a lot of them.
Yeah, they're kind of trying to, I'll say escapism, but also like they like to get into their characters. They like to get into their characters and play something and display creative talents that aren't really able to be displayed anywhere else. So I think if you get the right people, it doesn't really matter if you give them a 2-sentence story starter or the RPG system's rubbish. Like it doesn't really matter because I've seen so much roleplay happen from some of those 2-page RPGs that you can get off the internet,
Yes.
and I've seen the same amount of roleplay happen from a Dungeons and Dragons game, which has thousands of source books. So I think the biggest thing that gets in the way of roleplay is like a clunky rule set. But even so, once that's sort of
I
straightens
kind
out,
of designed, like the reason I've gone for this method is I've always found that one of the biggest issues with having a continuous play that moves the story along is that often you'll have one person away and then you have to adapt and then have someone else away and then this will happen and the story's going and then you'll have people saying, oh, what did we do 2 weeks ago? And they can't remember.
yeah,
And
consistency is definitely key.
To quote one of my favorite movies, attention span these days can be measured in nanoseconds, which is by far one of the greatest movies of all time, basketball.
Oh, I just saw a clip from that recently on YouTube.
Which one?
And it was how they invented the game to start off with, like pretty much at the start of the movie. When it's just like, I'll bet you $20 we can beat you in a game. And he's like, I bet you $50. And he's like, well, I don't have $50. I was like, we don't have $20. And they invent the game. And when they invented the game, I was like, you know what? This is actually, if you modified it a little bit, it's actually a decent game to play with the kids.
It's
like,
a great game to play with the
school
kids.
Like, obviously, they can't sit there and be rude when they're psyching someone out, but they can, like, that involved, because the worst thing about baseball or cricket or anything or playing like that with school kids is the fact that they sit there and they have to wait for their turn to bat. So
yeah,
if you get them involved in the psych out, that's like 4 or 5 kids that are entertained waiting for their turn, and it's just, builds social character too.
I'll be honest. I grew up playing a lot of basketball. Like I basically lived at the basketball stadium during the school holidays. I played reps and state teams and all sorts of stuff. And my social group had a very, it wasn't exactly basketball, but we had all these crazy rules about when we're playing horse, what you can and can't do, how you can distract people. If you can hit their basketball out of the air and yours goes in, it counts. So it just got crazy, yeah. But oh god, that's such a good movie.
Oh yeah.
Another one that's absolutely fantastic if you're old enough is Cannibal, which is their college project.
Never heard of that one.
It's called Cannibal the Musical.
Oh.
And it's literally a story about people that get trapped in the Appalachian Mountains sort of thing. And one of them's a cannibal.
Oh.
And so they're getting eaten.
How many of them? There's 3 of them.
Yeah, and they're singing songs, going crazy from frostbite and stuff, and then they kill each other and have to eat each other to survive. Seriously. But I love those guys. They're so good. So what I was actually thinking about doing is quickly telling you my thoughts on how the game would work and why the short attention span comes into it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the concept is trying to get each game under an hour and a half so that people can tune in, watch. You can take highlights from it for the next week. And then, so basically the first episode would be basic training, which I would turn into a YouTube video of how to play. So if anyone joins, they can just watch a 10-minute video and learn how to play, how to set up a character and how to join.
Yep.
Then the next one would be recon forces. So I'd actually put something out. Hey guys, who wants to be on a team recon? Grab 3 people for a recon team. They build their characters. They go out, do a recon. How they go, at the end of the episode, we'll actually put together a recon report of what they found.
Oh, yeah.
Then that report would be given to the next group that might be the assault team.
Oh, so it's continuous as it goes through.
Yeah, so everyone would sort of come in as a different character or as the same character. And so the way Lancer works is when you're doing an assault drop, you literally can do a drop pod straight into the enemy's area and start fighting. because you can orbital strike type thing.
Yep.
Yeah. The other thing is there's crazy amounts of factions in Lancer.
Oh, okay.
So you could do one where it's an assault team assaulting a base, and then the next team could be a investigation team coming to have a look at their base that just got assaulted, and work out why they were there and what they took. So the idea is to basically slowly build a world from a base.
Yeah. So it'll be like the thing that I found. This sounds like a little bit kind of like what I kind of try to build with a podcast, with lots of people in the
Start
same
small.
world. Yeah. So
Yeah,
definitely
lots of
start
people in the
small,
same
but
world,
also and it can get hard to track for one, especially due to the improvisational nature of TTRPG games. Because
Yes.
if you've got something planned for one particular group and then another person steps on that toe, you kind of like, well, fuck, I've got to work around this now. The one thing I've kind of found is what I wished I did, but I didn't do. So I'm doing it the hard way right now. But
Pause there. Hang on.
yeah.
I'm just opening up my document.
Oh, taking notes.
Yeah. Listen, if I'm going to get a genius on the podcast, I'm going to borrow them,
come on,
and I'm going to steal their ideas and say they're on my own.
That's okay. You can plagiarize me all you like.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
That's okay.
Well, hang on. I'm doing that wrong, aren't I? Beep, 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 boop. Alrighty. Valiant.
Oh, but I love OneNote. It's such a good tool.
I love OneNote. OneNote, honestly, I use it for work and everything. Whenever I go to a training session for a new piece of equipment, as they show on the PowerPoint, I take a photo of every PowerPoint and like put it into sections. So if anybody ever asks me about the product, I can show them.
Yep.
So you were saying, so one thing you've learned about having all bits everywhere and timelines and
Wimey timey stuff. Yeah, it's definitely start small, because it can get convoluted, and also it sounds counterproductive, but you kind of can't plan too much, because basically for Valiant Odyssey, I've kind of planned a quest and an end goal, and the rest is kind of filled in by the players. Not to say that I haven't prepared a world. It's the best thing to do is prepare the world. If you prepare the world and then the players sort of play in the world, and you prepare the end point of the campaign, and how they get there is up to you, up to them. That's the best part. But also, if I started my multi-group podcast over, I might include a tangible through line, which means like I would either have a player that's consistently there every session, and that character is the through line for the audience as well as the other players to keep the quest connected to the end goal. Or I would make it a plot device like an item, and that item would be passed through groups. And I think the plot device for my groups is the Valiant Odyssey Guild.
It is, yeah.
But with that as well, obviously some groups deviate away from that place.
I like how you tied it in at the start of season 2.
Yeah, with the explosion.
Like, yeah, that's literally where, for me, like, the stories felt, and that's kind of one thing I wanted to talk to you about, because that is something that I was saying it's going to be this squad, then this squad, and there's all these different factions. One thing I did want to do is, because I'm starting small, I'm just doing this one area.
Yep.
Later on down the track, like not season 2, but later on when everyone sort of had fun doing that, that's when I was going to switch and try and get that whole tavern explosion type thing.
Yeah. That was kind of the catalyst for action for me. There was in season 1 there was definitely the different groups, and they were working towards the same goal, the same quest, but they weren't really connected by anything. And then that happened at the end of season 1 and at the start of season 2 when the Valiant Odyssey building exploded. And then that was kind of like what in D&D they call a life-altering event, or a world-altering event, which affects everybody in the podcast. And those are the things that kind of tie you through as well. So I was talking about the character before, or the item being the through line, but you can also plan significant events, which I said before about the end goal of your quest. That could be if you planned to have 2 or 3 points in, say, history or events that would happen, and your different sessions and different groups are talking about how their particular character reacted to that event. So obviously in D&D Valiant Odyssey, the Crown Killers ran away from that explosion, and then in season 2 later on, Halrod and the Wild Fury are dealing with the aftermath of that explosion. That's the two sides of that one coin that you see. And then as the season goes out, it's kind of like a breathing lung. So if you think of it as the season starts, the lung is collapsed or closed. And then as the season goes on and you breathe in, the storylines start to deviate and widen as the lungs expand. And then as the season comes to a close, the lungs obviously exhale and get smaller again. And they all come back together, if you know what I mean. So it'd be like the shape of it. Yeah. The wave lines of the story would look like a football kind of thing at the start and end of a season. So they go away and then they come back, and they go away and they come back. And doing that
I can hear your teacher voice there as well, by the way.
Yeah.
100%. I was starting to get. It sounds like you've still got the love for it though.
Oh yeah,
I definitely do. Through. You do purdy thing with your mouth. You use that mouth purdier than a $20 whore.
Yeah, no, I try to keep the story vibrant, and I've obviously had, because you probably deal with this as well, like times when you're really, really into it, and then times when you're not. You know what I mean by that?
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, so there's times when you're really into it and it's effortless, and you can plan for, or you can set up things for your game for 3, 4, 5 hours straight, and you don't even know that time's gone. And then there are times when you actually have to be like, I have to make myself do this. Yeah. That's the tough part as well about running a long, multi-grouped campaign. Sometimes it's fun, and sometimes it's easy, and sometimes it's exactly what you want to do for 5 hours, and other times you're like, oof, I gotta get this going.
My biggest issue is actually guilt.
Oh, really?
Yeah. See, when I used to work away at the mines, my ADHD was a superpower. So I'd go away to the mines. So you'd leave at like bum tickety doo in the morning, drive out to Mudgee, which is like a 3.5 hour drive. You'd get there for like 7 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock, depending on what time they needed you. You'd work all day till 6 or something, drive back to the hotel, which is about 7 o'clock. And I'd get KFC on the way home. I'd get back to the hotel, turn my computer on, log in, get on Messenger, tell everyone, hey, I'm starting the game soon.
Yeah.
And with this group, we played 40 some. No, it was only 30 sessions, probably 32 sessions, and went from level 1 to level 20. And we did that in like a couple months, just playing at night. And some of these sessions, I'd be like, guys, I got to be up at 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
So we need to keep this between like 7 and 9. And then I cut to me at 1:30 finishing the session going, okay, I'll have a shower and then I'll... Wait, what was I doing?
What time is it?
Drive
Where
to work,
do I live?
go out in the pit, start inspecting stuff. But like it all came naturally to me. I wasn't tired. I wasn't sleeping much in those days. But when I was doing that, I was away from my family, like my kids and my wife.
Yeah.
Now I'm home, to be sitting downstairs on the computer and my wife having to put the kids to bed if they're having a bad day, I just can't.
No, I'm the same.
Yeah.
I've got 2 little ones as well. That's why I'm always like, with our other groups, I'm like, I can't meet on before 8.
Yeah.
Because 8 gives me a good buffer to be like, you know what? I can help put the kids to bed, or shower the kids, or do whatever needs to be done before I jump on and do my thing.
I think you and I are very similar in that aspect. When people tell me they want to start at 7, I'm just like,
that ain't happening, bro.
What do you do with your life? I know you've got kids.
Yeah.
I asked Luke this from Big Game Small Pieces, and it actually gave me an idea for a really good I don't know if you know this, but I used to make ads for my podcast.
Ads.
Ads.
Yeah.
So let me see if I can find one of them.
Ooh. Man, I might need some ads for my podcast.
It looks
Sorry.
No, they've redone voice mod. I'm gonna have to re-add them back in when I find them. But
Okay.
the old ones I used to do was like, get this, and one of them was a DM button that you could press it and kill people. So it was like, are your players not paying attention? Paying attention? Well, we've got the product for you. Yeah, no player will ever check the footy scores at your table. And, just like lots of fun stuff. And one of the ones, I'm going to redo them now with videos so that I'm going to get people involved.
Yeah.
But basically the idea is cut to people and it's like, I love my thing. And actually make it and share it around so we can just have some fun with it. But one of the ones I want to do, and Luke actually gave me the idea for this because he actually said it while we were really drunk doing a Christmas stream. I asked him, what's the secret to be able to run D&D? Like, how do you handle it with wife? And he looked me in the eye and went, neglect.
Yeah.
And I fucking love that answer. Like, because it's recognizing what
You
it
should
is.
put that into an ad, yeah.
Yeah, I want to be like, are you having troubles organizing your D&D time? Do you not have time to get away from the family? Well, we've got the product for you. Try Mud Brew's special neglect.
No, I get it. I think it's you definitely have to make up for it in other ways, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%. Like it takes planning basically.
Yeah.
Same as
And
anything. Like if you want to go to the
too.
gym, you can't just not go to the gym because you feel like you're going to be away from the family. You have to have a life. You have to get fit. My wife's actually pushed me to do that because I always felt guilty even going to the gym.
Yeah.
But as you can see, Greek Adonis at the moment, so life's good.
Life is good.
Life is good.
It's going well.
But yeah, so getting back to the fact of the matter. So we've got a story that's going to be starting. I did want to share one thing with you that I'm not going to do anymore, but it was the original premise for the show.
Yeah.
I don't know how I do it. If you can help me save it, I can delete this VOD and use that thing. But one of my favorite things about Lancer is that the evil god in Lancer was created by man.
Yeah.
So man
That sounds
made
good.
these things called the Five Voices.
Is that a like a sick reveal later on, or is that something that's
my idea was that they made these really intelligent computers called the Five Voices and programs, and they put all the information from the universe in. And then these Five Voices basically run simulations and predict the future and how to like defend the world, the universe.
Yeah.
So they're the ones that are like running these Five Voices, or the five computers are running these amazing simulations of how to save the world. And my thought was that at the end of season 1, something was going to happen where the world was ending.
Yeah.
Or the universe was ending, and they would work out that they're in the simulation and they could send the information out and basically redo it and try and stop it.
Like a Groundhog Day kind of deal?
Kind of like a Groundhog Day, but the issue was it's too hard. Like maybe I could just have that in my back pocket for if shit goes wrong.
Yeah, I've kind of toyed with that idea with some of the stuff for Valiant Odyssey as well. But when I started to think about it, I was like, it's going to be so hard because if you think about the Avengers, for example, the time heist in the end of Endgame, they had to go back and revisit events from the Avengers movie, and they had to go and see like the Grand Master, and they the Hulk saw himself smashing shit up in New York City, and to be able to remember the things that the cast actually did to project that to them, so it sounds like an authentic kind of time heist instead of them just going back and living through the same events again, like replay mode. That would be the way that I would want to do it, but it would be very difficult to pull off. So go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say I'm in agreement with that. the thing that sort of put me onto it was there's a Doctor Who episode called Veritas.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen this one?
Well, no, but I've just recently started watching the new Doctor Who's. We can geek out about that later if you want to, but go ahead.
Oh no, actually, if you're only watching, this is in like season 8, so I can't ruin it for you. It's a
Oh,
really,
no,
really
go ahead. Go ahead, man.
Okay, so in
I'm
Veritas,
forgetful.
basically he gets called out to the Vatican to read a biblical text,
Yeah.
and it's a
Yeah.
text about the origin of the world, and every person that reads it kills themselves.
Oh, which Doctor's this? The
My
Eighth Doctor.
favorite
That's
one,
Tennant.
Peter Ducci.
Oh wait, no, this is well before
Peter
the
Ducci, is that right?
10th
No,
Doctor.
Peter. Hang on. 12th Doctor, 13th Doctor.
13th Doctor. Oh, Peter Capaldi.
Yes.
Yeah, because the 10th Doctor was Eccleston. No, the 9th Doctor was Eccleston. The 10th Doctor was Tennant. The 11th Doctor was Matt Smith. 12th Doctor
Maybe it's
was
12th
Capaldi.
Doctor.
Maybe it's 13th because John Hurt
No,
was
it is 12th Doctor.
yeah, John Hurt was the Lost Doctor or whatever he was.
And this isn't because it was a chick, but I stopped watching at the end of Peter Capaldi because I couldn't take the changeover because
Yeah,
he's just so good.
yeah.
He's so, and
I
also-
like the new guy, but we'll talk about that after you've got a point to make.
there's like literally it's just I don't want to continue the story just because you are watching the doc and I don't want to deprive you of how everything
Okay.
comes about. It's really
Right.
good. So I'll leave it at that. But no, playing with timey-wimey stuff seems a little bit much at the moment. You know how we're talking about keeping it simple?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's tricky
starting
to
from
pull
a
off
point
well.
of we're going to turn back time is a hard. Gonna turn back time.
Yeah. I
It's
think maybe you could do it in a different way, whereas it's a prophesized vision of the future and their current, like the Marty McFly sort of situation where he's got the photo,
Oh,
and maybe they have like a photo or a hologram of the future event, and when they do shit, something changes in that hologram. So
like
the
this.
players, for example, maybe they save a young child. I don't know. And because they save that young child, you can see like the destruction and the massive smog gas from a devastating event doesn't happen because that kid grows up to be the scientist that invents awesome ventilation or something. I don't know.
I do like
But you
that.
could do it that way. You could do it like a forward thinking process instead of like a backwards thinking process. You could do it that.
Yeah, and having something to actually visually check is good. I like that. And that also
Yeah.
follows the thing you said about having an item that carries through.
You'd have to do you'd have to put a limit on it, like a 1 per day or a 1 per week thing, because you don't want to do the thing where the players will go step on a butterfly and then check it, or finish the sandwich and then check it.
They step on a butterfly and check it, and then I'm like, I'm sorry, you're dead.
Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
just like, actually, now when you look at it, there are zombies all over the world.
Yeah,
Hang on a sec, bro.
I don't know what happened, but it looks like you never got married. It looks, yeah, no, you just look really sad. You're just sitting there, no friends. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run you through a character build very quickly, and you tell me if you could work with this.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I'll actually give you the website. So for anyone listening, you can go to compcom.app, and I'm going to send it to Val in the chat.
Which chat?
I did a Neomagnetic. That's a bit silly. I'll send it to you, actually. That's it.
No, that's all right. I got it.
You got it?
Yep.
So if you click on that and go to there. So if you're going to use multiple devices, like try and use, I wouldn't recommend using your phone, but using like a laptop, and then like, because you're going to be traveling, you can create an account and log in.
Yep.
I haven't actually logged in, so this is just running on this computer. As long as I'm on this computer, I've got all my characters.
Yep. Ooh.
And I'm looking. Oh, Discord's backwards. Thank God. I was going to say that was my stream. Ooh. So I'm going to go into recording.
Oh, I can see all your back. This is
That's
like
It's the wrong one. It's the wrong one.
it's
Should
like
be
you've
left
pulled off the
screen.
clothes of your stream. We're seeing all the nasty underbellies.
Now you know everything. You know everything.
We do.
Get rid of that. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
And I can hear you too. That works out well. And then, so that's up there. So all I'm going to do right now is make this the correct size so that we can see it. That's looking good. Probably don't need my tabs. All right, perfect. And then I'll just add in my video capture device, always good. All right. Perfect. So now we're looking at ComCom. Okay, so are you on ComCom at the moment?
Yeah, I'm on there.
Okay, so this is very similar to our page that we use for Cyberpunk.
Yeah, it looks very similar.
It looks very similar. It's just as easy. Basically go pilot roster,
Create new pilot.
create new pilot, which for me is down the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And create new pilot.
Name. Ren Cordova.
Ren Cordova.
I don't know why. That's just
I love it. Do it on
my
yours,
call
but
sign
I'm going
is
to type it as well so people can see it.
bird. No. What's my call sign?
You can click on the left on the dice.
Ah, nice.
And
yes,
I
lovely.
actually use
No.
this a couple times to give me a little bit of a thing. Cockatrice.
Caesar.
Brugger.
Ren.
Or Brewer.
Nah, I'm keeping that. I've got Caesar.
Caesar? That's cool.
Like the monkey from Planet of the Apes.
Wait, hang on. Is Caesar AE or EA?
Caesar.
Yeah, of course it is. Then
Yeah.
background. So you can actually click the thing on the left.
Yep.
And basically, there's
Ooh.
20 of them because they designed it so you can roll a d20.
Nice.
But if you
I'm
just
gonna
click
roll a
one of
D20.
these, yeah, have a look. So basically,
Roll me D20 mod.
roll up, dude. I've got a cursed d20 right here. I've got a
Is it
giant.
cursed because it rolls
when I went
once?
to Denmark, I bought this one.
Very
It's a
cool.
giant d20 and it's cursed. A nat one.
Does it roll nat ones every time?
No, but it rolls them at the right time to make things funny.
Okay. Well, I don't want to be a celebrity because I was telling you before, I always lean towards the suave guy.
All right,
The suave
we can
rogue.
re-roll
I want to do
ones 'cause
something
we're
different.
halflings.
Lovely. I'm not a halfling. I'm 6'6".
Okay, you're a very tall. You're half halfling, half giant.
I'm 2 halfling put together.
19.
Ooh,
Starship pilot.
that'll work.
I think I've seen you be one of those before.
Have I?
Yeah, weren't you the pilot? No, you were the captain of the ship. When you played the Star Wars one.
Oh, yep, I was
You
too.
own the ship. You were not a pilot.
That's right.
We will go the pilot. That's all right. So I'll go right down the bottom.
Yeah, that was a point of order between me and was it Grace?
I think it was
'Cause
Grace.
Grace was
Yeah,
my pilot.
She was your
I
pilot.
needed someone to fly my ship, and she was just like, "I pilot this ship," but I was like, "Yeah, but it's my ship."
My ship.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. To me, it's all fun and games. Like, oh, so by the way, I'm so jealous. That game for someone like me, Star Wars. This Lance is the closest game I've ever played that really tickles my fancy
Sci-fi.
when it comes to building.
Oh, yep.
I really like the idea of building a starship in Star Wars and like having to buy parts and stuff.
Yeah, the actual ship that we picked for that was absolutely fantastic. I forgot where they got it from, like where the picture was that they got it from.
Yeah,
but it was a sexy ship. It was
it
so
was.
good.
It was. And you had
It
like
kind
two
of
gun
reminded me of
turrets
the
and all sorts of shit. That's unreal.
yeah. It reminded me of the one from Rebels, but it definitely wasn't the one from Rebels.
I'm just gonna have a little bit of scotch. Sorry, man. This one, I'll have two. I'll have one for me, one for you.
That's okay. I implore you to have one for me.
I don't normally drink on school nights, but when I'm sharing it with a friend, it's okay.
That's fair.
Mm. So, biography, you can write down, like, hey, I'm a pilot. I studied whatever. Honestly, I don't expect people to come up with a biography, and if they do, they can just write a couple lines of what they're about.
Yep.
And the last little bit is the OHM health examination. It's just
Ooh.
your description. So if you're like missing a leg, there's lots of like cloning and stuff in Lancer.
Yep.
So if you decide to be a clone or have something happen to you or be missing an arm or have cybernetics or something, probably good to explain it. And then just edit pilot image. You can add your own or you can select one of these generic ones,
Oh.
which are pretty damn cool. I especially like the guy with a hammer and a suit and a cigar.
Oh, hang on a sec.
Top left guy looks really good.
Man, he does. He's
Like-
got red bulging eyes.
I
too.
know, right? Like he just. I know one thing, and it's, I don't want to fuck with that guy.
It's true. It's true.
I'm a little bit disappointed. I haven't had anyone offer me more viewers. And also, did you follow the social pillar?
Not yet. I will though.
Do make sure you do, because honestly, it is an absolute travesty that they've got less followers than me.
Mm.
Like 100%. It's like if I had heard you had less followers than me, Valiant, I'd be absolutely pissed off. It would make
Aw.
it would make no sense. It's like, hey, this guy can draw and act and do voices and entertaining, and yeah, makes no sense.
Mm.
Anyway,
I'm going to be the robot.
Robot away. I'll actually change mine. Is that the one down the bottom right?
Yep, that's him.
It looks like it's doing ballet. It's super cool.
Maybe I should be a ballet dancing robot.
You could be a ballet dancing captain. Because you
Fine.
might pilot the ship like that. There is actually special piloting things where you can actually program your nervous system into it. So you like pilot it by thought.
I'll be doing that.
It's very cool. So yeah, and then down the bottom you'll see select character template.
Mm.
So you click on that, and then it goes through to new pilot registration, and you literally just have to choose whether you want it to be fire support, hacker, sniper, assault, or vanguard. So basically vanguard is close quarter combat. Assault is reliable medium distance. Sniper's long distance heavy. Hackers all E defense and that, and fire support is like mortars and stuff.
These talent synergizes with GMS fight systems.
Yeah, you might be a pilot, but you're going to be a Lancer pilot. So you're going to have the skills to be able to drive a starship, but you've become a Lancer pilot now.
I'm going to be... I was going to say Vanguard, but I don't think a starship pilot's... I don't think those skills are compatible.
Well, it depends what sort of... Like if you're a freight driver, probably not Vanguard. But, driving quickly with good reactions through asteroid, but like, I reckon that Han driving through asteroids like, meh, or like pod racing, those sort of people would be Vanguard for sure.
I reckon I'll be Vanguard.
Vanguard?
I reckon
So
I don't have a ship anymore because I took the direct approach through the asteroid belts.
Oh, wouldn't that be amazing? The ship crashes
I just
through,
smashed it.
the ship gets destroyed, and out the other side comes this dude with swords. That'd be unreal. So that's done. Your character's done. So you'd click register, and then you can actually just go into it.
All right. So those things, sorry, I was just looking at these things here. It says thermal pistol, heavy charge blade. Are they the things that I have?
And let me have a look. Did you click complete?
I clicked continue. There we go.
Yeah. So it should go back to the pilot page.
Mm-hmm.
So if you click on Caesar now and go in,
Caesar.
you'll be looking at
Register
your...
new pilot, Caesar and Cordova.
Yep. So you should be looking at
Yep.
Caesar page now. So because you chose Star Pilot,
Yep.
the skills you get for outside your mech, like, so one thing that Lance is really good at is you do one session. So it's all done in like missions. So you go do a mission, and whether you succeed or not, you go up a level.
Oh, nice.
Because you learn. So you instantly start growing in levels. And when you go up in levels, you get extra skill triggers. So these might go to +4, or you might choose another one. And then you also get more mech talents and stuff, which gives you more abilities while you're in your mech. But yeah, so you can punch people in the face.
These apps that do like Cyberpunk Red and this one here, they must run on the same engine or something, but they're so comprehensive and they're so awesome.
They are. It's
You go
really
through, you've
awesome.
got-
Like if you look at where is it? Stay Cool, +2. Perform a task
Yeah.
that requires concentration, dexterity, speed, or precision under pressure. Like that is driving. But then if you click on it, it actually gives you even more explanation. Like picking a lock as your squad trades fire with encroaching guards, avoiding hostile mimetic code while hacking a secure console, carefully disarming an explosive or unjamming a gun under fire. So one thing about Lancer is because the situations are so out there, you are expected to rules lawyer yourself to get these bonuses.
Yep.
So some people, the biggest issue with the rules is there's a physical one called take someone out, which refers to like when you're doing a stealth mission, if you sneak up on them and then you take someone out and roll well, you can just snap their neck and kill them without fighting.
Yep.
But then the person who takes someone out might want to fight someone, but they don't apply fist to face. There's a lot of argument. When I'm running it, I just pretty much treat them all as that's fine.
Yeah.
Like people get really pedantic, but as long
do
as
what you like.
Yeah. Charm's really cool. So charm's not like casting a spell like most people treat it in D&D. It's you have to have a receptive audience, so someone that's not attacking you. And then you can, through the use of promise of leverage, so money, power, personal benefit, you can smooth talk your way. So basically offering people bribes and shit.
Yeah.
And then so it's actually like real charm. Like you didn't want to come on the
like
you didn't want to come have a chat with me. I offered you $250 and you came.
not true, Mod. I did it for free. But
I
if
know you did, I know, and
lands
I
in my
fucking
bank
love you
account,
for it.
if it lands in my bank account, I would not complain.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, but it's really simple. Then the reserves and bonuses. This is for after you do a mission. So one mission you get a level, or you don't, or you win or lose you get a level. But then you come back to base and you actually do debriefing. When you do debriefing, you can do your downtime. So you can actually say what you're going to do, and there's roles for it.
Oh yeah.
And if you say like, "Hey, I almost ran out of ammo. I want to go see a mate and try and get more supplies," you can roll for that. And if you roll well, you can actually go to reserves and bonuses, and you might actually you might say, "I want to get focused for your downtime." And if you do get focused, you can add skill points, or improve a talent point, or get license, or you could actually get other weapons. So here we've got resource reserves, blackmail. You can even have it so that while you're on, if you're worried about this next mission, you could actually have someone come and, pick you up and get you out of there.
Or I could organize like a fail-safe.
Yeah, there's literally a bombardment here. So you being a Starship pilot, you might go see your mate and say, "I'm a little bit worried about this. Here's where we think we're going. If we get in trouble, can you bomb this area?" And you can literally have that range.
Call it in from
line of
before.
sight. You've now got that in your kit when you go out next. So I really like the downtime is actually mechanically put into the game, because
Yeah, because
I
it
always
can be
feel
a
it's
little
one
bit,
part that always falls down, and
yeah,
especially in
in
D&D,
D&D.
I feel that downtime, like you with the podcast, you're able to like cut stuff out if it's.
Hmm.
And actually, one of your downtime things that you did today that I was listening to from Wednesday's. Sorry, for people that don't know, Valiant does Valiant Odyssey Podcast. I believe they're up to chapter 3, season 3, episode 25, I believe.
That's
Uh,
correct.
Fantastic show. Go watch it from the start. It builds and builds, and it doesn't stop. It's really good. Um,
Oh, good
but
shout out.
I do what I can, but I watch it, so it gives me a lot of joy. The thing that I liked about it was you actually said to the guys like, "Okay, we're doing this. You guys are going this way. Uh, what are you're changing your spells? What does that look like?" And then without
Yeah.
missing a beat, you asked about his familiar and stuff like that. Are they still in this form? Still in our form? You did the downtime stuff really quickly and got on to the next bit,
Mm.
but you also pass that information over to the audience, which is one of the things a lot of people forget to do.
Yeah.
A lot of people just change it on their sheet, and then all of a sudden there's a octopus with the group.
Yep. And then they say, "Oh no, he's been an octopus for 4 hours."
Yeah, I did it last night when I was doing the thing. But yeah,
No,
so
I like to give the players a chance to highlight the shit that they can do as well,
exactly right.
because it's their person. It's not just my person, so they can tell me what things look like and be part of the imaginative experience. That's the
Yeah.
whole point of it. So I like to do it that way. And some are more receptive of it than others, because some will say this is what it looks like and this is how detailed it is, and they'll love being thrown into it. And others will be like, it's blue, and that's it. And you'll be like, okay, sweet, moving on.
The um the most thought I've ever put into that stuff was when I played an Artificer for the first time, and that was on Jasper's game day.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I'd been waiting to play an Artificer for like 2 years, and I'd never got around to being able to do it in any game. So then
I do love a good artificer.
Yeah. Oh, and then I was just about to go do it, and I was like, I had like a day and a half till I was there, and I was like, I'm gonna write out a physical description of every single whizzing gizmo I've got on my kit, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So yeah, that was basically it. I just had a lot of fun.
And that's the thing as a player as well. Like you went to the effort to do all that, and imagine if your DM never said, "And what does that look like?"
Yeah,
You would have just had a bulk thing on your character sheet that you never got to use
exactly
because
right.
your DM
And
was too
luckily
busy
I
telling
was
you what
with
the fucking place around you looked like.
yeah. Well, luckily I was with Dreaded GM, so
Yeah.
it's just like, somebody that's been around for a while doing that stuff like yourself. They asked that question, and I was like, "Here we
Here's
go."
something I prepared earlier.
Yeah, a little essay, 4,000
Yeah.
words or less.
Essay bud. No,
Essay.
sorry.
No, that's perfect,
He's an
man.
essay bud. Sorry, let's not do that.
I actually didn't. I thought that was all a comedy bit until I found out there was people actually doing that in Sydney and Melbourne and shit, and I was just like,
Yeah. They do it in schools too, just a heads up. And they don't even know what it means. Yeah, I know.
Hopefully the phase will end before my kids get there.
Yeah. That's a whole nother conversation, man.
Oh, dude, all I know is so far my kids have been awesome. We went
That's
to
good.
karaoke the other night, and
Yeah.
they stitched me up. They literally went up. Oh, I'm scared because it was my daughter's singing class, so we're there for like family karaoke. But the idea is the kids sing, and then I'm sitting there with one of the other dads, and then all of a sudden I just hear, "Next up, Mitch singing Shallow." I'm like,
Oh, that's a good song though. But you need a
What?
duet partner.
I didn't know what it was at first, so I had to quickly work out what song I
Google.
was singing. But it is a great song. It's a great song, and
Yeah.
just
I
wanna
can
say-
definitely sing the Bradley Cooper part, but as soon as Lady Gaga hits that high, I'm like,
Oh,
I'm out.
the worst thing that like I used to be the singer of the family, and then I sang that song with my daughter a couple years ago, and like when it first came out,
Yeah.
and she actually did that high note bit. Like she was only 7 at the time, and it blew my mind, man. She hit every single part of it, and I'm a musician, so I was just like,
Oh. That's so good.
"Fuck, did this happen?"
bless that young lady.
Well, I'm no longer the best singer in the family, so screw her. That sucks.
I think if it's your child, you're like, hey, I'll happily pass the torch.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I like to mess around about it, but you know, it is what it is, and I'm very proud of her. It's really weird though, because she gets nervous and anxious like her mum was when
Oh.
she was young, but she can perform in front of hundreds of people without batting an eyelid like her father.
Yeah.
So like, as soon as she's got a microphone, she's fine, but while she's walking up to the stage, she's like,
It's almost like the anticipation, maybe.
yeah, that's probably it actually. Yeah, it's what could go wrong. What is until she's in the moment, she's wondering all the things that could go wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. While you're in this page, apart from reserve and bonus, you also can do the item switch. I won't do any of that stuff until people have their character and they know what they're doing, because I think it's best to just leave it on random.
Oh, yeah.
Because like mag clamps, you know, when you're out, you can run along the side of the building to go kill someone. Thermite charge because you're
That is
switching.
so cool.
It's really cool. Corrective is if like someone gets killed, and then you can like that's kind of like your res. It's the only way to do it, basically. Very cool.
Oh, corrective. The clear
Yeah.
plastic like sheet that can be
But you
placed
can
over
like,
wing.
even though you've
Oh,
only
it's
got
a
those
Band-Aid.
couple items, you could still like run into your mech and get a first aid kit sort of thing if you're.
Yep.
That's just what you got on your person when you're out of your mech.
Right. Yep.
But yeah, like Cyberpunk Red, there is stims you can use. Kick, freeze, or juice.
I'm a robot. I will not be indulging in such vices.
Hell yeah. Oh, you could use a camo cloth.
I'm a robot.
A square of reactive material that slowly shifts, and basically it can cover your form and you can hide. But there's Omni Hook is like your hacking thing if you need to hack. Personal drones you can use, so if you're going into combat, you can actually send them ahead of you and find out where people are. Self undersuit is if you're going to go like. Oh, self undersuit is so you can like not only can you survive against vacuum of space, but you can also pee and stuff in your soup, and it recycles everything.
I also will not be peeing as I am a robot.
What about a sound system? Do you want a sound system?
Yes.
Hell yeah. This is what I mean. So like you could be playing and you say I want a sound system, and we'll go get a song, and every time you start doing something, we can play that song because you're kicking ass, taking people down with a giant flame sword. All right,
I think I want
that's what's
the
happening
final
there.
countdown.
You've Oh,
Yeah,
God,
or
that'd be
actually,
so
my
cool.
robot is going to be obsessed with Celine Dion. Yeah. Throwback.
Did you say be right back?
No, I said throwback.
Oh, throwback. I thought you said be right back and ran off, and I was like, oh, okay. Okay, I'll wait.
No.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
throwback.
Yeah, throwback to the Celine Dion. And like,
Yep.
honestly, she's a treasure. So as you go up license levels, this is what I was talking about before. When you go up levels, you can actually choose other.
I was looking at that before.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Basically, Horus is banned for a while because they're the most complicated piece of shit ever. But most of this stuff is really cool. So as you go up levels, you can choose these, and as you go up levels in these, you get access. So you can have one mech, but if you have like 2 levels of the one I know best is the Black Witch. So if you have 2 levels of the Black Witch, you can get a Ferris cannon sort of thing, and it's basically like a grappling hook of magnetism. So you can reach out to anyone within 5 units and grab them and move them 5 units either towards you or around, so you can fling them into walls and stuff. Or if someone's getting attacked, you can pull them out of the way so they don't get hurt. So pretty cool stuff. But basically, you can either when you
It
get
says I've got Everest.
yeah, Everest is the base one. That's what everyone starts
okay.
at. Everest is actually really cool. So the next little bit, so you don't have to worry about this now, but I'm just going to show you because it's really cool. If you go into the talents, you've got Combined Arms, Vanguard, and Executioner. But you did say you were a pilot, so what I might do is I might go down to the first one, like combined arms. Let's see what that does. As long as you're engaged, allies next to you have soft cover. So I'm going to remove that one. I'm going to go up to Ace. Every pilot brags about their actions. Some have a reputation to back it up, blah, 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 blah. While you're flying, you get the following benefits. +1 to accuracy to agility checks, and anytime an attack misses you, you can fly 2 spaces as a reaction. But there, later on you can do cool stuff. And the more things you get, it sort of gives, it's basically choosing a subclass sort of thing. But anytime you want, you can literally just wipe this and change the type of mech you're driving.
Ooh.
So yeah,
you do that in downtime, like a
you
mechanics
do it
rebuild?
in downtime. You wouldn't do it in the middle of a battle, but yeah, on your downtime, you can literally just say, "Hey, have I got time to print out a new mech?" Because in this world, they actually print mechs.
Oh, like a 3D print mech?
3D print, like everything's like Star Trek. Like you can actually print food, you can do all that stuff. This world is really, really cool. I love the fact, like the way the monist one actually, like the god came into creation is those 5 voices were predicting everything.
Yeah.
And the way it works is you're putting data in. Every time you put data in, it's actually making them redo another situation. And so they've basically got a blank spot in their mind for you to enter things into. And you're entering stuff in, building the world, and it's this massive simulation taking into account everything. And then all of a sudden, it's called a paracausal event. Something got entered into the system that doesn't exist. And it was a code called like a God code. But once it existed on that simulation, it went to all the other simulations and then appeared in real life. Because it was in the simulations, it became real. And,
yep, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically it was a self-fulfilling prophecy where they were trying to predict the end of the world and they created it. And then that creature called itself Ra in reference to our own God because it picked up the human race followed gods and it declared itself a god and then stole a planet with the 5 voices and disappeared. So it's like this, and that's when all the computers went crazy and they stole Mars and all, crazy backstory no one has to worry about, and I'll probably put into a video. But like,
how long have you been reading about this stuff, man? You got heaps of backstory on it.
I ran a campaign of this, and it was actually called Lance's Devolution. That's like a little tribute to it. It was so fun to play. It's literally like, because the actual lore for the world, they give you so much information, and there's all these little sub books. But the way it works is like everything outside of core, anything you write, because space is infinite and anything's possible, anything you write becomes canon.
That's so good.
So,
but also
like
very dangerous.
A Discord community, and you can actually go on to the massive press TTB Lancer RPG Discord, and there's people that have wrote like fan fiction, and that's now the real world. So you can actually download that and use that, and talk to them and offer things. Yeah, so it's very, very cool. Yeah, so basically you go in there, you change your mech up, you have your talents. There's some really, really cool talents. You've got your mech hanger, you've already looked at yours. You can change its name, but currently your one on my one's called Devastating Revelation, which is dead set the worst name I've ever heard.
We should roll a...
What do you call it?
I didn't call it anything yet.
Okay, so down the bottom you should have a
Let me look.
bit.
Hang on. I'll see what it is on mine. So the little mech button.
Yep.
And then where do I go down to?
Hang on, let me just have a look. So mech hanger, you click mech hanger, then you click, there should be a green box in the middle of your page.
Yep, got it. Add new.
Oh, no, not add new.
Just click on the green box.
Yeah, click on the green box. And at the top, it should be whatever the name is. So mine's Devastating Revelation.
Mine's Free to Love.
Free to Love?
I kind of like that.
That's wicked. But yeah, so Free to Love. Operator notes, you can make notes about how it looks and make customizations. So you've got a shotgun, thermal pistol, and a heavy charge blade. Charge blades are sick. They're armor piercing, so basically whatever you roll just goes straight through. Projected shield is awesome.
Grenades too.
Grenades, yeah. Personalization is basically you get HP, but then I really like to use the secondary rule. But basically, it'll be like you call it free to love, and it's got a giant wang. And basically, the extra 2 HP would be for the fact that when they swing, they accidentally hit that wang.
Oh no, I want to make it like a disco ball and Barry White sounds
Hell yeah.
and blinds them.
Yeah. Well, that's what you could say. So, like, if the GM agrees, this mod would help with either pilot or mech skill check. So you could say, hey, could I swing the disco ball to help pull me out for evasion check type thing?
Yeah.
And if I agree to it, I could get, whenever you roll that sort of check, you can roll 1 accuracy, which basically means you roll the d20, but then you also roll an additional d6. So the way it works is you have accuracy, and I always forget what the other one is. Disaccuracy?
Accuracy and the opposite of accuracy.
The opposite, yeah, the blind shooting. But yeah, you basically have one, you roll, and if basically it's kind of like advantage, but instead of cancelling them out, instead of just being like, if you have a positive and a negative, it's flat. If you have 3 positives and 1 negative, you just roll 2. But my personal way to do it is you roll 3 and then minus. But yeah, so it's really, really cool. So simple to use. And then all you would do from there is, oh, actually, I think I can show you this. Layout options, mech options. Okay, so what do I just click? Down the bottom of your page, you should have, down the bottom right, there should be a little power button next to your settings.
Hang on, let me have a look. All right, so back to my home page.
Like from the mech page.
From the mech page.
If you look at the weapons and look at the bottom of your page, it says mech configuration, combat analysis. Then
Yep, I've got like a little pilot sheet and then a little power button,
and then
active
there's an
mode.
off button. If you click the off button,
Ooh.
goes,
oh wait, I've just dropped out of my mech.
No, that's good. That's good. And down the bottom right, you should see a little moon.
Yep, downtime actions.
Yeah, robot. Yeah, that's. Oh, hello, stuffies.
Buy some time.
So yeah, downtime active. So these are what you can do. So basically, when you come for downtime at the end of the session, or if you're doing a downtime session before you start role playing, you could actually say, I want to get a damn drink, I want to get connected, I want to get creative and actually build a weapon or whatnot. Power at a cost is like you can make a trade where you lose something to gain something quickly.
Buy some time.
So I'm going to do get focused. And that says, by completing this downtime active, you'll get a get focused item to the downtime. Each get focused reserve adds a bonus skill trigger selection, which can be made in. So improve skill. And then when you go back to the pilot sheet, which is somewhere here,
button.
You'll have a skill focus. You can click on that and actually add in a new skill trigger. So it now says you've got 1 spare, or it should do. Somewhere here. Yeah.
You have one there that's looking a little bit like Charlie Hunnam.
Charlie Hunnam?
Charlie Hunnam.
Where's that?
No, on your ones, on your pilot roster.
Oh, yeah, let me have a look. Let me go back. Charlie Hunnam. Which one's Charlie Hunnam?
Rory Scrumpledink.
Yes! Rory's
He's actually the actor that's in Pacific Rim.
It is, correct. But that's him in King Arthur.
Yeah.
Which is a damn good movie.
Guy Ritchie did that one.
Yeah, one of my favorite lines that always comes up in my head is how do you get money off a Viking? You ask him for it.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love that bit. But yeah, basically as you go up levels, you add skill triggers, all that sort of stuff. And so if you look at the screen of what I'm running,
Yeah. I've got
so
you up.
all I'm going to ask people to do is basically do that first bit where it's like new pilot, name, call sign, background, click, select character template, assault, continue, register.
Yep.
They've now got it. Pragmatist, blah, 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 blah. And then all they need to do is export the pilot. And yeah, oh, well, no, not export. Hang on a sec. Yeah. Through there. Yeah, where is it? But yeah, you can send it to me. And basically send it a code and I can add it to my
Campaign.
And it's really simple. And then I can like have access. It's basically D&D Beyond, but you don't have to pay for it. And it takes like 8 seconds if you're happy with anything.
Yeah, I pretty much just put in like my name, picked a class here and there, and it loaded everything up for it. But then also your options there for your equipments and stuff. That's pretty detailed as well.
Yeah. And basically it's one of those things that like because you don't actually, if you're just going in the ship, you're probably not going to use these things. The pilot loadout. And if you're going into if you're doing pilot stuff, you're probably not going to need the ship stuff. But it's somewhere to start when someone can play like a training session and get used to it. But the main point that everything I've read and watched on YouTube about Lanta and actually experienced it firsthand, never let anyone start up from zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, as in D&D, everyone likes to start at like level 3 or 4 generally. Because, they like to go, hey, I've got a subclass and I've got a ability score point and I've got a...
Yeah, and they start from something other than basic.
Yeah, and what it leads to is people not knowing their own abilities.
Yeah, I feel like that's even the case with D&D when people start at those levels.
100% it is, but imagine that if you now had to manage in ship, out of ship, changing ships.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're going to forget everything, and then it's going to be a case of, can we redo that stuff? So that's enough Lancer talk for now. I'm just going to go back to the other page, and I would like to actually ask you one big question.
Big question.
Not Lancer intro. There we go. And I'll get rid of that. Stream together. So, Valiant.
Yes, Mod.
I've recently been doing a lot of thinking about, especially with Ali doing her amazing PhD on D&D and depression and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
What do you do? How do you end your sessions when you're doing your podcast, when you're doing games with your friends? Because one thing that seems to always get overlooked is the decompression session.
Mm.
Do you do, like, I know you play in person most of the time.
Yeah.
So do you guys often play until the last second, then run out the door? Or
No, we usually chat for usually half an hour after.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. Well,
that's something that's missing from streaming, man. Like when I used to play in person at JR's place, weekly or fortnightly, whatever we could manage. At the end of a session, we'd all, honestly, we'd probably finish the session going, guys, we're going to finish now. We're all going to go to work tomorrow. But then an hour later, we're all standing in there talking about the game we played the other day and shooting the breeze.
That's what we do. Unintentional, but we do it.
Yeah, well, it's unintentional, but one thing I did experience it once when I played with Dreaded GM, where he actually did a session where everybody said the thing they liked. They basically talked about like, hey, I'm going to use myself as the example.
Yeah.
Hey, he was like, hey, I'm going to talk about Mitch and the things I like that he did. And then everybody sort of said the favorite thing that they liked about the session today. And like, it's lengthy, but like I went to tears straight away because I'm not used to that.
Mm.
I was like, listen, man, I was raised in a time before people used to appreciate each other.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
yeah, cut that shit out right now. I'm feeling uncomfortable. But no, honestly, like it was amazing. And I actually went through a lot that day because I was like, I can't think of a time I've ever sat down with someone and had them actually say something nice to me in this way without a joke coming.
Mm.
And not because of lack of love, just that's how we are. My family tells a lot of jokes. We know there's love underneath. You just don't say it because it's kind of weird.
No, I get it. I've actually watched him do a few of his streams because I used to watch his he was running Storm King's Thunder for a while
Yeah.
on his channel, and I saw him doing that with a few people. Does he do it? Does everybody get a go, or does he just pick
No, like,
3 people, or is it whoever wants to? Or
well, normally they do like a session where they go through and literally do every single person in the session.
yeah,
I don't know how, like, I think there's 2 ways, and this is basically what I'm asking you. I want to do something like that, but it's too lengthy.
yeah,
Like, it's way too much time to expect. Like, because if you've only got 3 hours to play or 2 hours to play, and you spend 20 minutes, like 10 to 15 minutes intro, and then a few minutes wrapping up at the end, and then do 20 minutes, that's like, that's a solid 16% of your time spent appreciating people. And
yeah.
while that
Which
sounds,
isn't a waste, but I
it's
get
not
what
a
you mean.
waste. That you nailed it straight away. Like as soon as I in my head went, oh well, it's not really wasted, because the thing I'm actually more impressed with is if you can do it in a way that's digestible, then maybe the positive behavior could leave the stream and actually go to other people's games.
Yeah, I get that.
So like to show people taking time to appreciate each other has a lot of power in, like, not in my case, because like, pretty much, hang on, let me just check. Yeah, I've got mum watching, and yeah, that's it. Mum and Valiant. So it's not a huge thing. But it is something that I actually want to start doing to hopefully start other people doing. So what's the amount of time you think would be acceptable on a stream? And do you think it'd be worth it to involve the chat?
Yes, I think it would. I think obviously giving chat a voice is good, but you have to stress that it's got to be positive.
Yeah.
Which I think if you build the right community, it will be. And you have like people moderating the chat, and we all understand that if somebody says something in chat that isn't nice, they're just an asshole.
Yeah.
And we can get rid of them. But I think on the whole, most of the people that I've seen within the D&D spaces of like streams and things like that seem to be pretty positive or looking for some kind of connection. So I think it'll work. But I'm happy to do it. Like I think we did that after we definitely do it after Valiant Odyssey sessions. Like this thing that you did was so cool, but we don't really formalize it. We kind of
Yeah.
just have a bit of a chat. But I think that's because we've been playing for so long, we're comfortable doing that. And I think that will become the case if this one runs for a while, where at the end you'll just be like, maybe just call it like, I don't know,
Top
like
moment.
appreciation, yeah, top moment or appreciation moment or something like that. And then somebody can start off by saying, hey, when we were going through this, it was really cool how you as the GM described this. I was really involved and all that. And then people can just bounce off each other. And if they want to share, they can. But if they don't want to, then
Yeah, we're not
they
going
don't
to
have
force
to.
people.
Yeah. I think just having a conversation around it that's positive about the game that you just played is good. I actually remember as well. Are you familiar with Corsair's Cove?
I am.
They also do that as well, and they always say they borrowed it from Dreaded GM.
Yeah, no, like I used to watch Corsairs all the time. I think at the moment they've been streaming at the same time as I go on other people's streams.
Yeah, and they've got a really long running Humblewood campaign, which is
Humblewood
cool.
campaign.
Yeah, you know Humblewood?
No, I don't know Humblewood. You just said a word, and I'm like, I'm gonna
Oh.
look this up. I don't know what a Humblewood is.
You'll either be really into it or really not. Humblewood's like, do you remember D&D
Oh,
Beyond's actually just
Wicked.
bought it. Yeah, it's like forest animals, but you take on classes as like a D&D. It's like Redwall. Do you know Redwall?
I don't know Redwall.
The old books. They're like the old books. That like in the main characters were
yeah, so cute.
the main characters were like animals or cartoons. Let's see if we can go 3 for 3 here, Mod. Do you know the Animals of Farthingwood?
I do. I know.
Okay,
animals.
there we go. Oh, damn. I thought I'd trip you up 3
No,
times.
I love
It's
animals.
kind of like that, but they're warriors and shit.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Animals of Farthing Wood was amazing.
Oh, yeah. That taught me how to deal with loss, sadly. But yeah.
Yeah, the Firefly taught me how to deal with loss.
From
And The Land Before Time.
the Firefly from the Frog Princess?
No, the Firefly TV series, like
Oh,
Serenity,
yeah.
where they
Yeah,
did
yeah,
one
yeah, yeah,
season and then ended.
Yeah. I've never seen that.
Really?
Yeah. I love that actor. I love that guy.
Nathan Fillion, yeah.
Yep. But
The only
never
thing I
seen it.
could recommend higher than seeing, like for him, than seeing that is on YouTube, and it's Dr. Horrible's Amazing Sing Along.
Nah.
I'll send you a link if you haven't watched that. That is dead. It's only like 3 10-minute episodes, but like it's a musical, and it's Neil Patrick Harris, Nathan Fillion, and Elizabeth Day. But like, it's really good. It's fantastic.
Yeah, send me that link.
I will send you that link. So what I've worked out is Lancer should work. Keep it simple. Build outwards like a lung. Not too much timey-wimey unless it's right. I've actually got Loki here helping me with it. Completely not against his will.
What's Loki doing?
Pardon?
What's Loki gonna do?
Loki will keep quiet.
And only speak when he's told. No, sorry.
I don't want him escaping that dungeon. But I've had him helping me with the world building.
Yep.
But yeah, that should work. The other thing I was going to quickly ask you was, are we ever going to, like, I was a really big fan, I don't know if you knew this, of your stream that you did in the school.
Oh, the Wasonia Files?
I thought that was amazing.
I love doing that, man.
Like-
That's actually got some really good content in it, and I want to turn that into a podcast because, spoiler alert, at the end of that, one of our Valiant Odyssey characters actually died. And I've had some people contact me that listen to the podcast, and from season 2 to season 3, that character's no longer in there, and it's like, what happened to it? And I was like, oh, it's in the YouTube. So I really want to try and pull that over, but I haven't found a way to reliably sort of pull the audio from the YouTube and edit it to a point where it's like of the same vein, because obviously streaming and podcasting completely different in terms of the way that you're doing it. Yeah, because that was like it started out as a bit of fun. Like we did it as a bit of fun, and then it ended up being really, in my opinion, I really enjoyed it. Like, it was really fucking cool.
Here's why I think it worked. Ready? You had people that were all having fun, that were there. They got the assignment. You're at school, like. But the thing is, you're a school teacher, and you've been to school, so the world felt real.
Yeah,
which is the problem with a lot of campaigns. Like, one of the reasons
you have nothing to go on. Yeah,
one of the reasons I like Dimension 20 over the other D&D things is his world building is always based on, like, it's in a way that you can sort of imagine it. It's not just a tavern. It's not just this, and then you find out what the gods are in that. It's like it starts and they're all tiny creatures in your backyard, or hey, they're all made out of candy, or they're all, and it's like this one thing, and straight away you're just like, I'm in the setting. And one of theirs is Fantasy High, so it's in a high school.
Yeah. I like his unique takes on D&D campaigns. Is the Fantasy High one he did, but then there was also one that he did that I really liked that was based on fairy tales. And that
That
guy,
was amazing.
yeah, I forgot who the actor is, but he played like a version of Pinocchio.
Lou Wilson.
Yeah, that's right. And every time somebody plays Pinocchio, they always give him that god awful voice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude. Like, I don't like that one. Made me cry a lot. That was pretty messed up, actually.
Yeah.
But they're good. They're like, and like that's what I mean. Like, it's based on fairy tales. It's based on this. We're with you.
Yeah.
Too much of the world, because I'm a big fan of audio podcasts. That's probably why your one works well with me, because you have to put the information through. Something I really hate about Twitch things, and I try and move away from it, is when you're streaming on Twitch, too much becomes about the combat, and they start like measuring and looking at this. Like, you know, when you're doing your podcast, they go, how far is this? And you're like, it's about 150 feet. And like, about this, do this. It looks like you're probably going to have to get a run up. It would be possible, but I don't know if you got time. Like, you sort of give them a box and you explain to them, like, instead of saying it's 15 feet, you always say, oh, it's this far. It looks like you'd have to, you know.
Yeah, so you kind of give the action with the measurement. That's what I try to do with a lot of the mechanics, because podcasting is a funny beast where, as I was saying before, different to a table campaign, if you want to attack an enemy, you can say to your DM, I want to attack that one. But if you're in an audio medium and you say, I want to attack that one, your listener's like, which fucking one is that? So I actually had to talk to my players. I said, you know, just think of it as like we're podcasting. They can't see what you see. Use north, south, east, west, and describe. Like if you say, and I'm going to go hide over here, describe where you're hiding. Like just pretend that the person you're talking to can't fucking see, because they can't.
Yeah.
And I think that also keeps combat pretty listenable as well for a start, which is good, because sometimes when you're listening to combat, it's definitely not everyone's favorite part of D&D podcasts.
No. I actually, the best, even Dimension 20 combat often goes a little bit long. I'm a big fan of the Not Another D&D podcast style.
Yep. Actually, I haven't listened to them. I've listened to Dungeons and Daddies. Yeah, and they're pretty loosey goosey with their combat too. They're kind of like
they're good, and like often the DM tries to give them a way out so he doesn't have to do combat.
Yeah.
He's like, I guess I guess we could be friends. Maybe. And they just like
fuck we can. It's like, no, I'm pretty sure we can be friends.
Yeah, so like one thing I really liked about because the guy that does Not Another D&D podcast is one of Brennan's disciples. He's actually on Dimension 20.
Yeah.
The way he does stuff is he's running combat. Like he'll have like an evasion combat where they're running, and they'll be rolling athletics checks. And if you fall behind, you start taking damage, or you can stop and try and kill them, or do something and then escape. And the way he sets it out is it feels like there's tempo, whereas most people's chases just end up being a fight.
Yeah.
Or it just ends up being 3 athletic checks and then it's over.
Yeah. Actually, let me write that down, because that's a good fucking note.
It's really good. And
so say that again. What does he do? He like rolls the checks, and if you fall behind, you start taking damage.
then the people start catching up and they'll start actually attacking you and doing damage.
But
So
the
you'll
chase goes on.
take 4 poison damage or 4 piercing damage or something,
Yeah.
and you can keep running, but you don't do the whole opportunity attack. You don't do the or you basically work out a mechanic where like maybe the creature jumps onto your back, so you
Yep.
start taking damage while it's attacking you, but also you do your next athletics with disadvantage unless you attack it to get rid of it. And so
Yeah,
like
no,
he comes up
I
with
like
mechanics
that.
for the chase scene. They're really good. But then when
It takes longer, but it definitely pays off when you're planning something like that.
yes,
Because it's much easier to be like, okay, we're gonna run a chase and it's gonna be 3 athletic checks and then it's gonna be done. But yeah, I know what you mean. It'd be so much more interactive. Or not interactive, but
well, yeah, it feels
listenable,
more
I
the
guess.
tempo's faster because there's there's no like, okay, now they're going to attack you, they're going to roll to hit. Okay, 2 of the guys shoot both. It's literally like these guys, like 2 of them have got close to you and they've slashed you. You've taken 8 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you keep running, or you can try and and like they'll come up with something like, I want to do this and set off a smoke bomb and misty step that way. And they're like, okay, cool, make your thing regularly, or if you're running, you make it with disadvantage. But yeah, it keeps the pace going, and I really like how he does it. But then I don't like that his girlfriend's like the best role player in the world for D&D. That's a little bit too much. Like my wife doesn't play D&D, and that's how life's meant to be. You can't have it all. You can't have the picture perfect wife and have her play D&D. That's just not on the card.
Is that in not another D&D podcast, is it?
Yeah. You know Emily from Dimension 20?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Is that his wife?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and it's really, really funny because basically, I think that's how all the best players in the world should be. They should push the DM to no end. But it's very hard to get someone to do that because even when I do that, I feel like I'm being rude. But you're not. You're literally just asking for something, and you have to respect them as a DM to say no if it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of the people in our space and in the people that we play with kind of understand that too.
Yeah, they get it. They get it, and like one of my favorite things is one of my characters I played on Marks. I actually brought my may I approach the bench into my character, so I made like a Deadpool character that can fourth wall it, so the actual character would approach the DM and ask.
Yep.
Like, can we do this? And he's like, no. Like, spewing.
Mark would be the kind of guy to just roll with that too.
Yeah, he was chill as fuck. Like, dude, had a ball. Absolute ball. Like, if you get a chance, anyone, World Render on Thursday nights. Amazing fun. Everyone's very cool there.
Oh yeah, that's over on Crit and Miss, not this
over
one.
On, I should say that, shouldn't I? I should make like things for all the channels. But so my final thing to you is, if I put together a group to start making these commercials, are you in?
Me?
Yeah, would you like to do some voice work for some of these commercials?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Awesome. And last one, if you had to play Lancer with 2 of your friends for your podcast or whatever group, just two people playing Lancer, who would they be?
Man, I'd really like to get, the guy that did play Zendatus? I'd like to get him back, but he's been doing some stuff. He's not in the TTRPG space anymore. He'd be sick to get back to play because he's really into like mechs and Power Rangers and shit.
Oh yeah,
but,
yeah. Well, try and do the sell. That's it. And tell him there's non-commitment thing. He can rock up. And the thing I love about this is if you get all ready for battle, or ready for your mission or something, and then your wife calls and you have to go, you can literally stay back and do downtime, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like it's a sort of campaign where it's drop in, drop out. You're still part of the crew. You're probably just in your room reading a book while the other guys go for a mission.
Yeah. Or, your mech is on standby or something.
Now, I do actually, we will go in a sec. I will ask you one final question because I need this. I'm not a very smart person like you. And like most of the other people in the group. I'm going to talk to Ali about her PhD because I'm fascinated with psychology and all that sort of stuff. What's a question I could ask that makes it seem like I'm intelligent.
For the psychological thing?
Regarding a PhD.
Ooh. Let's see. Because she did it on a bunch of different demographics. So
She did. And the one, I believe they did
maybe you
for
could ask
one.
about the effects of it on like younger people, like children. Because I know a lot of schools are doing like D&D clubs and things like that. Maybe the educational benefits.
Oh, I like that as
So
well. Yeah, maths and
there's
stuff.
obviously like emotional intelligence is one of the big things. Like talking through problems and finding ways to solve problems is good for young people. But then there's also educational. This is coming from me as a teacher. This is why my question's this way. So you like,
No, I like it. I
because
like it a
a
lot.
big part of schooling is obviously storytelling and character creation and putting different things together so they fit in a narrative style. Like maybe see if she has any thoughts about how it could be embedded into an Australian curriculum or into an assessment
Ooh,
or
I
into
like
a
that.
unit of work where it could be accessible for young people. Because if she's obviously got the body of evidence to say that it's good for people's mental health when they're between 20 and 35 years old, it's probably going to be good for people that are between 10 and 18 years old.
I don't
Because
think,
then,
like, any thoughts how could be embedded in an Australian curriculum for children, for education? No. For child education. That sounds like too many words. That's what people do when they're
yeah,
smart.
or maybe like, is it, because I don't know if she does it already, but is there a way that her like tabletop club
Ooh.
can do something in regards to like kids come and try days at a place that's accessible? Because if she did that, I'd be fucking down to help her. And you can tell her I said that if you want to, but
Will do. Valiant would be down to help.
yeah, because if say I don't know where you do it, like maybe at the maybe at like the Riverway library that's there or something. You just do be like a D&D come and try day, and you can have like 5 DMs there, fucking 5 kids at every table, generic character sheets, roll an encounter,
There,
and then give them all like a D20 and a laminated battle map or something when they leave. I don't know. Just get them into the hobby.
I'll put this here. These people, let me just, I'll put this in the chat where I was. I went out to Mudgee and actually did one of these. So they
Where's
actually
Mudgee?
ran level up gamers, and it was youth activities where they actually got people to come in and play D&D, and it wasn't exactly what you were saying, but it was younger people targeted, and it actually was really good.
Yeah.
There is a group in Newcastle that's just starting to do this. I told them, like, for people with some concerns, and I gave them my details and volunteered on the weekend, so hopefully they'll get back to me soon. And before we go, final thought, this is the scariest thing about D&D, and this is my actual thought. Like, too many people say the opposite, and I just want to get your opinion. If, like, most people I talk to, they say they play D&D, when they role play, they like to hide behind their character.
Yeah.
I firmly believe when people are in character, they actually, because they're more comfortable, they actually show off more of their personal stuff.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
You see through it too? I didn't
Yeah,
realize
well,
I was doing it.
no, I think that people, whether it's conscious or subconscious, they create a character in a moment in their lives where they need to work on something. Like I was saying before, I play a lot of like cocky, roguish characters, and I think I do that because that's how I want to present myself to other people, and I do have a little bit of like not so confidence, I guess. But yeah, I think people either try to roleplay things that they're lacking, or they try to roleplay things that they are proud about their own character. And I think it's more so in the former than the latter. But I think a lot of people say I'm playing this because it's something that is completely not like me, but somewhere they've been curious about it, or they've been
That's it.
hit with something that's not too they're not too sure about themselves, that they want to explore a little bit more, and that's why it's good, because that's why D&D is good, because um, like, for example, we have a guy on our podcast who's like Rengar the Moonlit.
Yeah.
The guy who plays him, Rob, he is extremely organized. He is a natural leader, which is exactly what his character is.
I was about to
And I
say
think
100% it is.
Yeah, and especially for your first character, because a lot of these people are their first characters as well in my podcast. They kind of fall into playing what naturally fits them, which is why it always worries me when people's first characters die, because I'm like, how are they going to play something different? Because this is so naturally them. And it's also going to be really hard for them, because it's obviously a big part of them that's just gone now. But how are they going to play something completely different to that, or explore something different? But it's interesting to watch too. So I actually think, like, looking at all of the different characters I have in Valiant Odyssey, I could probably pick a part of their personality based on the characters that they play.
Yeah. I strongly feel that. Like, I don't even know the blokes, but I think I could probably pick them out in a lineup, like when I chat
Yeah.
to them.
The only one that's vastly different is Lullaby, who plays Key. He's actually like the nicest dude that you'll ever meet on the planet, and Key can be a bit of an asshole, but I also think he picked that because he doesn't get to be an asshole in real life, and he really wants to try it. Like, he really wants to give it a crack and just
Yeah.
be mean to some people that are mean, and he's like really friendly to people that are not so nice to him sometimes. And I feel like as
Key feels like
Key,
a really lonely character, man.
yeah,
Like, I know he's got like buds and stuff, but like it literally, like, yeah, it was like there was some bits in the first season that were actually hard to listen to because I just felt,
mm.
yeah.
Even like the first parts of season 3, when he's
Oh shit, yeah.
talking about his like, he met his fate and then his perspectives realigned.
It's
Yeah,
messed. It's
you can analyze the psychological aspect of a lot of it, man. It's good.
Did your first character die?
No, I've always been a DM, and my first actually. Do you want me to
What?
count my? I've literally always been a DM. My first character was like a DM NPC, which I don't really count. He was like a barbarian half orc, and I put him in there because the party picked all arcane wielders, and they needed a fucking
Yeah.
tank. So I guess that sort of pushed my protective side. I think who was my first character?
Oh my god. Wait, did I
My
see one of
first
your first characters?
Nah, you didn't. It was a guy called Grayson.
Okay.
He was a human paladin of vengeance. And
Shit.
yeah, I kind of just like separated myself from a previous friend group, and I played that character, and I was like, and I thought it was fine, but looking back, I'm definitely looking at it and going like, man, that was you sorting some shit out. Like, the way you played that guy, he was
That.
like,
Oh
he
yeah.
he was a soldier. He was a soldier, and he defected from his unit because they were like running. It was kind of like the Crusades, and they
Yeah.
were running like a religious genocide through the place. And he a moment happened, and he snapped, and he was like, I'm not going to lead this anymore. And he butchered his entire company. And from then on, he was like a pariah for the others in that organization. And he went on adventures, and eventually that organization caught up with him. It was a pretty cool character to play.
That
And
is
then
a pretty
from
cool character.
Yeah, I know. And then from there, from him, once I sorted that out through D&D, I didn't need to go to therapy. No. Everybody, if you need to go to therapy, go to therapy.
Oh,
But
100%.
but from there, I've always played like charismatic, swashbuckling characters. So he was like vastly different from anything I've ever played, and I haven't played anything like that since. And I don't know if I could really,
It
like, not give it the same, because he was a bit of a, yeah.
I
He wasn't mean or a bastard or anything like that, but the emotional,
he was wound up.
yeah, he had some fucking trauma, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah. 100%. Like as soon as you said, like Vengeance Paladins don't mess around, dude.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely
they have to
agree.
do it, otherwise they are breaking their
At
tenets.
least, yeah. Well, that's
Whereas,
what ended up happening at the end of the campaign. At the end of the campaign, he kind of found one of the other characters. They kind of had a like a father-daughter relationship,
yeah,
and not one that was like healthy and protective, but more like the one where your daughter like reluctantly takes care of the father because
oh,
she loves him
oh,
and
you're
knows
breaking my heart.
and doesn't want him to like it's kind of like I'm getting vibes of like Logan. You know how Logan at the in that
Yeah,
movie
when he's
Logan,
like his overlife,
he's
he's
yeah,
getting
and he's decrepit
poisoned.
and everything like that, and then that girl comes along and he finds his new reason, and she wants him to be better. It was kind of like that. That's how it ended up for him, and he stopped being a paladin and he started being a fighter. So that was a good arc. That was a good
Dude,
story.
I
That was the only time I was a player and not a DM for more than like 3 sessions. So I've been a player for in campaigns for like 3 4 sessions, and then the campaign's fallen apart.
yeah,
But that one, I was a player for like 6 to 8 months, and it was actually really nice to flesh out a character completely.
dude, it's an amazing feeling. Like the only reason I stopped doing, um, like I've pulled out a world runner and a few things. The only reason I've done it is because I've just got too many stories bouncing around in my head and too many characters, and I need to get them out.
Mm,
And playing two characters for several months wasn't giving me my creative outlet. So it was one of those things.
yeah, especially when they're combat like campaigns instead of because this one was a very mixed one. Um, it was kind of like the Valiant Odyssey campaign that I run. It's a good
Yeah,
mix between campaign and
well,
combat and role play.
that's what you sort of need. You need that balance, the three tiers, the
Yeah.
exploration, the role play, and the combat, and it sort of
Mm,
it becomes stable. But the
yeah.
like the combat binds them together so they can role play, and then once they've sort of role played, they've got a new mission, so they need to explore out and find it, and it just sort of rotates around, come across
Yeah.
conflicts. My actual first character was like the more I think about it, it wasn't until years later, like it only finished 2 years ago, but I played from level 1 through to level 20 over like a 2.5 year period,
Mm,
and I played an intelligent fighter, so his intelligence was higher than average. It was like 14.
yeah.
Um, and just as he went along, he did all this other stuff. He ended up having like a wife. There's all this stuff happening, but
Oh, that
the
was the other thing about my first character. Sorry to interrupt.
you're right.
He did have a wife and a child, and then they had previously gone, which is why he attached himself to the daughter figure in the party, who was like a young ranger elf who was also a bit of a loner. So he kind of like pushed all his feelings of that loss onto this as well. Yeah.
Please tell me she made it through.
Oh yeah, she did. That those two are the ones that like those two ended up ending the campaign, and they were the only two original characters left. Mine and that girl's.
Oh, dude, that like it's messed up. And like when you said about losing your original character,
Yeah.
my character literally, like, I was going on a trip around Australia. Literally, I was like in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna be gone. I'm not gonna be able to play. I want my character to have an ending. And then our group got like cornered in a castle. It was like a one-way corridor, getting chased by thousands of guards.
Uh,
And so my guy with his werebear strength uh,
no.
jammed his shield into the door, sort of thing.
No!
So did it.
You did a Hodor.
He did a Hodor, except he went on the other side of the door. So he jammed it and then
Yep.
went and fought them on his own. Because it's a single corridor, so he can fight
Mm,
them for a while if he stacks the bodies high. And then yeah, so when he did it, it was like roll a check, blah, 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 and it was like nat 20, nat 20, nat 20, and like he went out fighting, and I was
yeah.
like, I think I rolled 3 nat 20s in a row, and I was just like on the call. They're like, oh, and what do you do? And I'm like,
Right.
I was bawling my eyes out. I had to actually get off camera for a while
Yeah.
because I'd started my trip already, so I was like playing by, and like I literally like was hanging up the phone and just like crying for like 10 minutes because my character that I didn't realize I'd put so much of myself into it, and then
Yeah.
this thing's happening, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm dying.
Yeah.
Like it was so brutal.
It is me.
Yeah, like I think back to that character a lot. There was parts of him like where he's arguing with someone when they do something stupid. That was straight from me.
Yeah.
Like
That's the tricky part about playing a character as well, is I kind of because you kind of do say to the table like, this is all role play, anything we say don't take it personally, but then like when you're in those situations and you're arguing a point, sometimes you really believe what your character is saying, and
oh,
you know,
100%.
yeah, and yeah, that's the crazy part about it. But everyone's got to kind of understand you're playing a game and do all the things you need to do.
100%. And I'll put you onto one thing, dude. There's a thing. I'm gonna bring it up and I'm gonna send a link for it because you need it. And I've wanted to do this my whole life. Well, for like the last few years, but I can't. I'm incapable. I've like literally tried to write it and I can't. But I know that you could. So if you do want to do amazing things, there is a thing called Kid Stories Podcast.
Yeah.
My kids listen to it still. I'm going to put this in chat. It's written by a guy called Phil Bechtel. So this is on Apple iTunes, Spotify, everything. Kid Stories Podcast. It's literally the story of the Valleytown Ninjas and stuff like that. 100% this guy plays D&D.
Yeah.
Like the way he builds his stories, it's straight from like, he's an experienced dungeon master, 100%, never doubted it. But I reckon you could do something very much like this.
Let me have a look.
So basically, I'll see if I can find an episode of it. But he just does, like, he's so amazing the way he sort of builds this world. My kids have just fallen in love with it, and the whole thing is, hang on, I'll find. Are you Apple?
I listen through Apple, yeah. Oh, here you go. Former kindergarten teacher and currently stay-at-home dad.
Oh, he's this teacher, is he? Wow.
He was, yeah.
See what I mean? I can pick him.
Mhm.
But like, I was listening to this, I'm like, oh my god, there's a Ninjas of Valleytown role-playing game. I knew he was a D&D. I goddamn knew it. I got chills, man. But
Yeah.
Attack of the Red Dragon, that's a good one.
Oh, bro.
Hello, and welcome to the Kid Stories
What is
Podcast.
it? Does he
Today I'm reading about the ninjas of Valleytown again.
I'm gonna have to listen
In this
to
episode,
does
the
he
ninjas must
narrate the
defend
stories and
Valleytown
voice the stories and
against
Yeah,
things like that?
he
greatest
narrates, he
threat.
voices.
Sound effects and things like that too?
Oh, like, no, he doesn't do sound. He just tells a story, man. And it's so chill, and it's really, what the hell is good? Wow. Skip, cancel. I think I clicked something.
As long as it wasn't.
No, the stream's still going. I just clicked
Okay.
the old OBS, I think, and it like opened up all these windows. But yeah, so he does these amazing stories, and they build, like, he does the story, and then he's like, okay, well, I did this amazing story which has like 100 episodes, but everyone likes the character Momo, so he'll do Momo's character arc, and then he does another character arc, and then he does another character arc, and like follows their origins and this, and like he's built this giant world of it,
Yeah.
and like it very much is similar to what you've done, but he's made it's all just kids.
It's
so
all
like,
him. Yeah.
instead of killing people, they might tell the trolls that they're naughty and give them sleep potions or something.
Yeah.
But I was like, literally, I was trying to write something like this, and it just kept going to stupid adult jokes, and I don't have the maturity to do it. I would love to do it. but I'm just going to share this because otherwise I might lose it. I just
You know what
found it.
you do, like I have so many ideas for podcasts and shit, and then you just come in here and give me another one.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Nah, it's all
I'm
good,
so
bro.
sorry.
It's all good.
But the good thing is, you know that you've got a place coming to play some Lancer and relaxing and having like an hour and a half with a couple mates.
That's true. That's true.
So would you rather be recon or operations, or like just full on assault in a mech, which is the coolest part, by the way?
What were the options again? Recon.
So basically, first people to play will be the try before you buy, crash test dummies, actually be like basic training type stuff. All right, now
Yeah.
roll your D20. Try and hit the target. That
Oh
sort of
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Then,
Move forward with your left analog stick.
Yes, yeah, it's a tutorial. That's what it's like. I've got a script going.
Yep.
Then the next people will be going out and doing recon, so they'll actually be deploying and moving across and getting information. And by the end of it, they've got to basically go around. So that's got to be like scanners, hackers, stealth sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever they can find out in that hour and a half will get actually given to a drop team. So if they roll really poorly and they don't do anything, the drop team might be falling into shit and just get devoured by bugs or whatever.
I'll be on the drop team.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Awesome, man. But oi, thank you so much for coming on and giving me some guidance with this stuff. Letting me pick your brain and making sure. The CompCom system, you like it?
Yeah. I like the app. It's good.
Yeah, that's so
It
good.
looks
I can't
very.
believe they do it for free. Hey,
I know. That's the same as the Cyberpunk one. It's like, how do people do this for free? Obviously, somebody just like really fucking loves it, made it, had the skill set, and was just like, this is how we do it now.
Yeah, and one thing I can tell you is, from my understanding, the Lancer system, once you get into it, a lot of people like it a lot more than D&D.
Yeah.
Just because of like the way the game's built, it's more fast-paced anime style.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say this to the camera. People, look up Zero Blue Orion. Zero Blue Orion is the best example of role-playing with a group of odd-job people that I've ever seen in my life. And it's a Lancer campaign where they take on the world, and it's fantastic. All right, man. Well, thank you very much for the chat. I'll end the stream shortly by actually going to the Lancer intro one last time. But dude, keep up the amazing work with the Valiant Odyssey podcast, available on all podcasting channels, and Spotify is what I listen to it on. And is there any projects you want to talk about before we end off?
Not really. Just follow us on socials at D&D Valiant Odyssey. That's where you keep up with all the announcements, and make sure you're kind to my good friend Mod and follow him on all his things too.
And
Keep up with
definitely
his
watch
Twitch.
Crit and Miss for Cyberpunk Red, where both of us are on there. And we recently killed a whole heap of people and threw them over the edge and did some cool shit in Cyberpunk land.
We did. We became best friends.
We did. All right, man. Peace out. Thanks again. And yeah, have yourself an amazing week.
You too, man.
You were a child, so hungry for the world before you, new like you, and over time your skin creases and your scars collect, and there's nothing you can do. Till it burns, I'll enter my grave, singing this is fine with me.
cowbell ready.